It is day 1 of Metroid II, the Game Boy one, Return of Samus, trying something new today. We've had ample discussion on which Metroid to play next. We're gonna give this one a try. This is so different already. I don't get scary vibes at all because this music is just kind of, I don't know, cute. It's so upbeat, yeah, really. Okay, we don't have bombs. We do have morph. It doesn't seem like we have a wall jump, which I wasn't expecting. And our energy is just 1 E-Tank, 99. Game audio is a bit quiet. We can turn it up for sure. Watch out for the flashing lights. Also, you can hear my cat at the door, of course. She says hi to you all. Let's try this and see where we're at. Is that better? That looks better. Hi, kitty. You need an awesome theme to help make you forget you're about to wipe out an entire species. Oh my goodness. We're also a little bit high up in the cam from, from our crafting shenanigans. Okay, it doesn't seem like we have multiple directions, right? Which is expected. Much better? Good. Okay, thanks. Don't started wall jumping until super. Yeah, that's what I thought. And this is frogs, so this is... We didn't get much of a story intro, but this is SR388, right? Or no? I love the music. Okay, cool. Can we make this? Oh yeah. I'm curious to see what kinds of secrets and things are in this game. How developed that is at this point. Intros in the booklet. Yeah, Game Boy booklets. King Crouch is a massive step above 1. Fanta, hi, welcome. Awesome. It's been a while. We took a little bit of a break from Metroid. We did some other streaming activities. So if you've been waiting for our next playthrough, I appreciate you hanging in there until we got started on this one. And of course, we're getting into the home stretch for Dread. This is so much improved over Nestroid already. Oop. I say as I hit Samus's head on the blocks, but still. We're very floaty, which is kind of funny. First visit here, yeah. Leetapus, hi, welcome. It's good to see you. We just started. We had a few technical difficulties in the beginning, but we are ready to go. Why did that hurt me? Okay, well, I'm gonna not mess with it. Game Boy platformers feel floaty in general? Probably. We're in space, yeah. Jumping, crouching, firing lemons, turning into an orange. I love it. We will probably pause in a minute and take care of Beatrix the cat because she wants to be seen and heard, as she should. I just set up a, cat sitter for her for Thanksgiving, and I'm really excited about it. I had not found a cat sitter other than my parents in this area yet, and she was super nice. And she, I don't know, from cat person to cat person, I was like, you get it. You understand that I have needy, spoiled cats and they can't be left alone. Everybody's pets are different, but mine can't. I don't have the type of cats where you can just leave food out while you're on vacation and they'll be fine for a couple days. Else with the glasses, see the background is 3D because of the blue. Oh, that's kind of cool. Playthrough was why I was so positive on the idea of trying out Metroid 2. Did you? Oh, did you make a map? I forgot to make a map. I said we're making a map and I'm just excited about figuring out controller and chatting. Let's pause because this is just a test paper. It literally just says the word map on it like 3 times because I was figuring out where to center it. What will you... I don't think there's any enemies nearby. I'll leave the music going. Not as bouncy as one. Won't get knocked into lava under platform. Still disappointed on Amiibo getting delayed. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm not probably gonna use pen. We'll stick to pencil. So, should we go back and remap? We went through a bunch of, like, up and down, like this, kind of. Oh, mistake. Metroid, you mean NES original? Agree to disagree? Personally wouldn't say this is better than it is. Lugubus, hi, welcome. How's it going in? How's it going? Sorry. Scatterbrain, because I need to go back and map this out. We could just start from here. There weren't a lot of alternate passageways, right? I'm skeptical. Okay. Here's where I think we are. This is a square at the very beginning. Ship. Can you see that all right? Not really. I'm gonna have to zoom it in a lot. Like that. Ooh. And that's real busy. Ship. Troubleshooting. And then we went kind of to the right and then like diagonal down, and now we're just gonna put ourselves in this like room here. And we'll call this first like big chamber. I don't have room to write words though. Be a learning process for sure. I'm gonna have to get colored pencils out too, because you're not gonna be able to see it as well. Fizzy, hi, we just started. Have not done much yet, so I will let you know. I like it so far. Oh. Okay. This is a save room. We can color that like blue or something. Thief, hi, welcome. Koala, hi. Metroid II! Yeah, we're trying it. I have a feeling I'm not going to be very good at making this map that I was so excited to make because I'm too distracted by just playing the game. It's very linear, had no trouble, except maybe redacted. Gameboy love, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, science? That's acid. So we're gonna make another room to the right. This is kind of a hallway situation. Acid. Saving was so quick back in the day, new games are too slow. You'll likely only get lost from the low field of view. Map is far more linear. We shall see. Oh, I wonder, is this game like super... You can... This is a safe word, you can answer this. And that I cannot shoot enemies if they're off screen. This is the start of the next room. It's pretty linear so far. Oops. Or like, it's not that you can't shoot them off screen, but in Super you would think, oh, they're coming towards me. Like that one missile pack by that Ripper, and you have to go to where the Ripper is and follow it back because if it's not in your screen, it doesn't move. Playing a classic 2, playing Destroy All Humans, nice. Zoomed in, yeah. Makes for detailed sprites. Her sprite's cool. I'm curious to see the armor. We haven't really used missiles yet for doors and things like that. I'm kind of curious. Do we give it a try? There's no indication that that's what I should be using there. So we're gonna keep shooting lemons. Playing Dicey Dungeon at the moment. Nice. No object permanence, yeah. I'm afraid to... I don't know. I'm just taking it easy and cautiously in the beginning because I feel like one wrong move and I'm gonna die. So this is our save again. We didn't go left, we could go left from here. This is on the other side of, like, the entry chamber. Okay. We're working our way back towards what would be underneath the ship. I don't know. I'm gonna write, like, entry or, like, an E for enter so I don't forget which block is that one. I have to watch myself. This is a game I can see myself getting excited about and saying too much by accident. We still have spoiler chat going too. If anybody is in the Discord and wants to use it, feel free if you want to make comments, but you're unsure of whether it might be a tip or something or a hint. Always welcome to use spoiler chat. That was kind of a shorter hallway. I'm doing good, Koala. Thanks for asking. Had some technical difficulties starting up today, but life's good. Stream's been going pretty good. Never knew this had defined CGB palette. Oh, we did talk about the different palettes too. Thank you, Mistake, for the Discord link. Dark Lord, hi, welcome in. Played it back in the days of Shades of Spinach. We could use the original color scheme, yes. It's only one thing I want to say, but I'm not sure if it's the right time or how it would be received, so I'm keeping quiet. Okay, Fenris. You can whisper a mod, too, if you want. You get colors if you use the Super Game Boy? I don't know. This is going, like, all the way down now. I'm not sure how far. Oops. Okay, well, I deserve that. The knockback is kind of intense on some of these enemies. But the damage isn't too bad. Okay, this goes down, and then we're gonna go to the left. Like the bouncy Metroid in the corner. I do too! Destroy all Metroids. I guess that's keeping track for us. Oops. Maybe. We don't know yet. Don't answer that. E, hi, welcome. Saying less is always safer, yeah. Seeing this making me want to play this version again, says as he grabs 3DS, yeah. I don't know, it's so different so far from having played a variety of different consoles of Metroid at this point. Comparing something like this to Prime, which is just insanely immersive and detailed and scary, and then we're like playing this little arcade Metroid. It's just, it's very different vibes. Okay, this seems to be the right way for me to go. Today we're not Zeebsians, we're 380-ians. Yes. Dun, dun, dun. I'm curious for boss fight music. Okay, well. I want missiles. Buttons. Hang on. There we go. Ooh, ow. Okay. Okay. That was a cute noise. 38! We did okay. I used a lot of missiles though, I gotta be careful. What's happening? Oh. How do I get that? You got one! Yes! Just thinking you go to all this trouble, but then they announce Gameboy on NSO tomorrow. Wait, yeah, what? Okay, we're gonna have the direct in the middle of stream, right? That's frustrating. Okay. Live direct react stream? We could, I guess. I gotta keep an eye on the time. Super worried about- yeah, true. Worried about Dread spoilers. I don't know. We'll probably skip doing the live react, but I understand if you gotta go watch it. Also, let me know if there are spoilers for Dread if you go watch it. Cut game midstream to watch? Maybe? I don't know. Probably not. We'll see. Why is this like this? Something moved after we fought this Metroid though, so let's go back and we can save. Live reacts are good for YouTube. Oop. Oh, here. Thank you for the missiles. Man, I never thought I would miss Diagonal this much. I don't use it as much as I should, but now I'm like, oh, I wish I had it. Carl, hi, welcome. If Dread shows up, I'll turn off my monitor. Why is this like this? A question we all ask. And then we go back up this hallway. I feel like I thought that Metroid was gonna give us something, but we can always walk back. So far we're just kind of learning how the controls feel and everything. I don't have anything at my disposal to get secrets, it seems like. I'm guessing this game doesn't have the secret hidden tiles like Zero Mission and Fusion does, but I could be wrong on that too. Well, no, it must, because Nestroid has a ton of those, right? Been trying to avoid any information on Dread, yeah. Especially if you let off a high-pitched squeal, which I did when Dread was first revealed. I'm not too much of a high-pitched squealer, but I don't know, it depends how good the news is. If this game makes you appreciate diagonal aiming more than this is already worth the time, yeah. We've come so far in our Metroid journey. Jen misses diagonal aiming and knows to use missiles on the first big enemy encounter. Ooh, hello. Were you there before? I think you were there before. That hurt. So far the item drops have been okay too. It lets us crouch, yeah. Except I got hit. I got messed up. Here, have some lemons. Oh, no lemons. Or no energy in return. Metroid can crouch now. I can remember one thing I did back in the day was I made a full alphabet of the game's in-game font. The font's cool. We're able to go to the right now, so this is a new part of the map. Right? Oh, Jen, you're failing at your map making. Alright, I don't know. It goes down here, let's just say. Hopefully there'll be cues that help me enough with the map in case I forget to draw squares. After today's stream, maybe I'll go back in and clean up my map, and then I'll do a better job at it from the very start next time. This went down a little bit. I don't know, kind of like that. Wow, I don't know. I was excited about the map, but I'm miserably drawing this. Oh, that was weird. You went through the floor and then you reappeared. So it seems like fighting the Metroid drained some of the acid, right? That's what it seems like. Whoa, so high. Nah. Okay, and then we went across, and I'm already gonna run out of room. I'm drawing these too big because I want to, like, you to be able to see them. But this is the edge of my paper. This game is a mess of a map, I know. I love Hollow Knight, Mr. L. I love the map for that game so much. So I was kind of excited to, like, test my sense of direction because I did pretty good with learning the map in Hollow Knight. We need the big architecture graph paper, seriously. Oh, pancakes! They look different in this game. We've got a new song. I guess that's good. If we have new music, I could go to a different piece of paper. Since I've already learned that I draw way too big. Oh yeah, the pausing thing is so flashy. Weird sounds. Yeah, new background music. If we don't like it, we can always do lo-fi. Associating submaps with music? Yeah, why not? New music, new paper. Very intense pause screen, I know. Okay, so we came in over here on the left, and we're in another acid hallway. If we need multiple pages, it'll be okay. Pause sound should be a beam effect. It definitely sounds way more intense, like a weapon or something. New song, where dis? I barely have any music here. Just beeps and boops. Lo-fi beats to massacre aliens do. Yeah! That is what this game is, huh? We've just... Oh, come on. We've literally just got a counter that we're trying to get to 0. What did I just do there? That was a hallway, and then it went up. Oh no, I should have started this one in the center of the map in case it goes up more than it goes down. Hang on, we're refining already. I make these way too big. If you can't see it, we can zoom in more. I want, like... but see... I don't know. We're gonna go with that for now. Imagination, hi, welcome. I like it so far. It's fun. It's not impossible. I don't feel immediately aggravated. There's a save station. 1 so far, but I'll take it. It's been speculated that Emmy sounds were based off of the beeps. Emmy sounds? Okay, we're getting health back. That's good. What's up here? Suspicious. This looks like... Where did we come in? To the left, right? And then it came up a little bit more. Oh, I don't know what that is yet. I haven't seen much of the Dread anything, so please keep in mind not everybody knows anything about Dread. Good thing you're using pencil. That was definitely on purpose. I have colored pencil and a colored pencil eraser as well if we need it. The Prime trilogy had concluded by now. Weird. I wanted to watch that video I found that said, like, all of the stories explained, but I was afraid it would be too much of spoilers for now, so I didn't. It looks like there might be another exit at the bottom of this room, but we're not going down there yet. Not everyone's watching any trailer. Yup, yeah, some people are literally no news other than the announcement. So please keep that in mind. Okay, I don't like this room. This is scary. But also, these are kind of bug refills, which is nice. Maybe mixed feelings are allowed for this room. Oop, shoot. Too tall. They really like to chase you, don't they? Okay, this goes across. This is like a hallway with the bugs. I'll write refill on it. Colored pencils have special erasers. These ones do. They're Prismacolor pencils, which I probably should save for art projects and maybe not use on stream, but you can buy a special, like, Prismacolor eraser that comes with them. Probably just because it has the name Prismacolor on it, to be honest. Oh, what is that? You look like a mosquito, kind of? This is interesting, right? Prismacolor, yeah. Here's the funny part, the Prime... Oh, yeah. A couple of you said about the Prime stories. To clarify, I avoid trailers for anything I'm interested in because they're not made to improve the experience. They're made to get someone to make a purchase if they haven't decided yet. Ta, hi, welcome. This one goes across here too. I'm not even using the squares though, because I'm afraid if I double up on squares, it'll be too wide and I'll run out of space. But I need to try to stick to this, the squares. Ooh. We're in some kind of ruins. Here's a save. I don't think I need a new, piece of paper yet. Dun 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 dun. Assume the primes were set before this because after this Metroids are so rare in the universe, they wanted to have some in prime. And this goes across and then starts to go down. Ooh. I don't know why this music makes me laugh. Oh, this is a massive, long, like, vertical situation. And then there's an exit at the top, or we can go down this way. The theme of going in circles. Prime were side story, not mainline. They're not numbered, yeah. If it's a trailer, I watch it. I trust most creators not to spoil everything, even if it's... Yeah, it's just personal preference. Okay. What are you? Okay, so this went over to the right, and then there was like a little switch thing, like a statue thing. We're already getting kind of messy here. What does this music remind me of? Also, are these... Can we destroy these with, missiles? No. Bren, hello. To Samus, to Metroid. Exactly. I hope you're having a good Wednesday. We've got... Wait, it's not over here. It's up here. We've got map cam going. We're trying it out. Mistake, if you're still around, can we get a shout out for Bren, please? Fellow streamer who also has a spoiler chat, who loves the lore, who does map cam for all sorts of things and lore cam and takes notes on all the games he plays on stream. Thank you, Mistake. Map cam, yeah. I guess maybe not all the games, but a lot of the games I've seen you play involved lore cam and or taking notes, and I love it. Currently on hiatus for Master's Thesis, true. Still. Send the support over. Need the a boost of support and confidence and appreciation is helpful in a time of Master's Thesis. Oh my goodness. Her footsteps sound like a bug. Pitter patter. Hey, look! 5 missiles breaks open the door! Imagine that. Is this not... Oh. Bomb! Dun, 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 dun. Wow, the Gameboy fanfare. Very cool. Thought it was a Prime game. No worries. Maintaining thesis lore journal. Oh yes! Heck yes. So can we do this now? I feel like my map has already fallen apart. And more missiles? Oh my goodness.
Yay.
Bren, thank you for gifting a sub to Leetopus. I appreciate it. Leetopus, welcome to the human race, courtesy of Bren. Enjoy Earth Badger emotes, your ad previewing. We're very glad to have you. Thank you, thank you. This Chozo statue doesn't try to stomp you for taking it bombs. I'm glad. We should go save. I'm kind of confused as to where we are, though. Because I didn't write it down. Okay, this is where... Yeah, let's go save. Why not? This went across and I didn't mark it. We were over here. And then there was like this missile door here, and then further to the left was the Chozo. I don't know how precise I need to be about exactly how big each square is. Are we going for accuracy, or are we going for whatever helps Jen not get way too lost? Muse how lifeless it was, yeah. Here's our save. Time to bomb everything. We gotta figure out what's bombable and what's not, because I feel like all the blocks look very different in this game. Can we morph midair in this game? It doesn't appear that we can. Not from that type of jump. Okay. You just see me trying to morph and excessively clicking down on our arm cannon. Acrylic, hi, welcome. It's, Metroid 2's good so far. I feel like we're still in tutorial mode. I'm still kind of figuring out where everything is and how everything works. Go for functional. Accuracy probably isn't happening given view restrictions. Yeah, because of letting you guys at least be able to see a little of what I'm writing. Last mainline game that allowed bomb jumping, period. Interesting. Does this one have... We hadn't gotten to it yet, but does this one have... Oh, heck yes. Okay. Let's keep going. So this was our missile door, our Chozo statue, and now it looks like we're gonna be going kind of underneath there. Thank you for the Ko-fi donation. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. Let me update our total. Thanks for the hype. Horror, welcome in. I also really like the game's map. There's a lot of open areas, which is kind of nice. Infinite bomb jump hype. We did it. Okay, hang on one second. Made it the funny number, Taw. Thank you. Heck yes. We are at 169. Nice. Working towards our Justin Bailey, Samus Sprite cosplay. Anything else down here? I definitely thought this was gonna be another path. I feel like the bomb jump is, makes you go a lot higher than some of the other games where we have bomb jump. Yeah, Super has infinite bomb jump. We learned it. That was one of the things I learned. I think it's actually in the intro screen, too. It's one of the things that was spoilers of techniques that you can do in that game. Oh yeah, Zero Mission had it, too. Fusion was the one that didn't have it. Oh, this is cool. Okay, so now we can keep going to the right here. Super shows it in the demo, yeah. If you use exclamation point Justin, I think I linked it to like an article that has a picture of what the Justin Bailey sprite looks like. Up for some interpretation. Like, I know different people dress her up in different ways, okay. Speedrunners use it all the time, yeah. E-Tank. Heck yes. Okay. I don't like this music as much as I liked the other music. Love the map. Hi, Iron Judge. Welcome. Thank you. It's a work in progress. I'm gonna learn what works and what doesn't for tracking stuff today. There you go. Thanks, Taw. Oh, here's another. Okay, here's another one of these. It doesn't look like it's gonna be an enemy at first, but it is. The AM2R version is an improvement. Oh, I'm still forgetting to make my map. I don't know. I prefer just kind of playing, but I'm gonna be thankful later if I work hard on it. Oh, okay, here's where we cannot. No wall jump for you! Bummer. Oh, there's not even enough running space for me to do a spinny jump here. Okay. Let's go this way then. I'm gonna make like an arrow and right high jump. And then we're gonna go this way. BRB for more coffee, sounds good. M2's morph ball looked weird to me, like it has a bulging blood vessel. It's kind of like egg yolky. Oh, new music. Speaking of music. Oh, it's the beeps and boops again. Okay, cool. I kind of feel like we're on the other side of whatever that temple is then. This is like some kind of an exit here, and then we go into this. Oh, here, I can do arrows like they always put for different sections of the map. This is a hallway up there. Can you see that? Yeah, you know, it's there. Hi. If I recall, Dr. M64, the guy who did AM2R, has some stuff on OC Remix. I feel like we're gonna... Oh, this one's gone. We're gonna get used to... The first day is gonna be getting used to map making, getting used to controls, whatever learning we need, and then future gameplay days, we can try different colors, we can do different music if we want to. Just to have fun with it. The bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. Hi Musically, welcome. There are 5 really good themes in this game, and one of them's title. The rest are different variations of beeps, and then the dreaded Chozo Ruins theme. Oh no. Oh, this is interesting. I don't think I can get up there. I can shoot all those, though. We're trying really hard to. This is clearly a priority right now. Admittedly, like ambient beeps. It's not the worst noise I've heard in a video game. Okay, we're still going to the right here. To the right. I need to make sure I have pencil lead. I didn't even think of that. Do I have any old-fashioned pencils? I'm sure I do. Oh. Good, that's what I wanted to happen. Good, I'm glad. This keeps going to the right, but we can't do that right now. Space beeps, yeah. It's like constant map room music. If you aren't playing the M2 remakes anytime soon, they both have good soundtrack with cool arrangements of these songs. I definitely have, FOMO of Samus Returns. I was feeling a little bummed about not playing it next. I feel like depending on how this one goes and how much time we have, we're probably gonna want to try Samus Returns. I don't know how long this game is, but I heard Samus Returns is really long. And I mean, it's... Oh. Oh. It's all kind of subjective, right? Like, some people finish it faster, some people finish it slower. Spider Ball. Oops. So this... But Spider Ball in this doesn't look like Spider Ball in... Prime. I don't really know what to do with it yet. That was weird. This went over to the left right here, and then we'll just put like a dot for where Spider Ball was. The real Spider Ball, yeah. Oh, I didn't really want to fall there. Gonna call it a night. Okay, Pratt, take care. Have a good sleep. 8-ish hours? Oh, that's not bad at all. 8 hours for this too? Okay. Spider Ball hype! I don't understand it yet. Ah. You can hug the walls. Okay, cool. You know what the counter is? Well, it went down when we killed a Metroid. So, I think it's our Metroid kill counter. Interesting. But you have to... Ooh, that was weird. We're messing around with how this works. Oh, weird. But I can't even see the walls there. And it doesn't let you cancel out of it? Oh, I just have to press, what, A to cancel out? Weird. Hope it comes back at some point. This is pretty cool. Not what I was expecting at all. But really neat. We're learning how to use it. Okay, and that just takes us back up. So I think we're done in this room for now. Because I think we can get out of here like this. Oh, maybe not. Interesting. Boop, 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 boop. And now we're back up here. Oh, maybe there isn't a path. Oh, what's there? Nothing? Just a little hangout spot? How do you get anywhere in this game? I feel like all I'm gonna want to do is spider ball and check every ceiling and every corner. Oh, weird. There wasn't anything over here yet. And this is the end of that hallway. We're just gonna leave it like that for now. Welcome to Spider Ball the game! Yeah! Expectations dashed! Oh, goodness. The sort of thing that's doable because the restrictions of 2D. Yeah. Is about that spider everywhere. Okay, cool. That's what makes it take a while, because I'm gonna be stuck checking everything all the time. It makes the coolest noise. I feel like that should be something and it's not. Okay, alright. Oops, shoot, Jen. We're learning. I'm happy with... I feel like I'm happy with my map so far. I feel like we're doing okay. Not the best, not the worst. Okay, getting murdered by pancakes. Just as my confidence starts to feel boosted. So then... Where's a ledge where I can try this again? Up here? Whee! Oh, so that wasn't the top of the room. Okay, so then we went up this way. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll make it that tall. We're up here now. I gotta keep track when we stop, put a marker like, this is the square I'm on. The item that got used in, what, one more game after this? Yeah, because Spider Ball in Prime means something totally different. It is in Prime, but it's magnetic ball. You can only use it when there's rails. It's not just cling on to the walls and everything whenever you see them. Magnet ball, yeah. Oh god. Oh no. Did I equip missiles? I did. Okay, we did it. Scary. Woo! There's a ledge up there. This is where we are, is this room. This was a Metroid room. I don't know, I'll put an M for Metroid. Dun dun dun! They're a little startling when we run into them. As they should be. Oh, well, maybe there's something here. The controls are a little wonky. I'm holding up, and it just keeps taking me across the room. It's never the button you think it's gonna be. Okay, that wasn't anything. And for Metroid, yeah. Can we go? If I had stayed on that ceiling... Oh, shoot. Can we continue on to the next room, or does it make us do a loop? Eclectic, hi, welcome in. Yeah, lots of beeps and boops are happening today. It does let you go to the next room. Helpful. Oh, get out of it! Oh no, we have missiles equipped. Oh, I keep forgetting where the select button is on this controller. I could have gotten those, but I didn't want to fall back down. So now we're going up, 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 up a bunch. Here, this same hallway. Spikes hurt. Mm-hmm. Feels weird when you're getting used to the spider ball movement. Yeah, it seems like the controls are strange. But not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, come on. Oh, now I say that and now I can't. There we go. Yay! Oh, that's like a refill spot. Interesting. I don't know, that's kind of fun. We're going all along, oops, hang on. The top here. I wrote the word high jump too big, so I'm gonna make it smaller. This is a note to self to return when I get high jump. So this, let's take this corner and make it go across now. We're up along this ceiling here. I don't know, maybe it will bring us back to that high jump spot. Who knows? Yeah, no spoilers. I don't see, I saw the comment saying that might be spoilers, so I'm not gonna investigate further, but please keep in mind game information, even if it's not a direct plot point or a hint of what I'm doing in the game right now, it can still give something away for future playthrough. Oh, rip. I misjudged the timing of that, and you pretty much, like, once you take a hit, you're donezo. Where is this? I wonder if this is the top of that high jump spot, though. Let's go to the right a little bit and investigate. Dun, dun, dun. I don't want to jump down in case it is. Okay, this is fine. I didn't make a note of like what the color of the bricks was there, but I think this high jump spot, I think we went all the way along the ceiling here and then fell. Like, I think this is just all one big open room, and we fell to where that high jump spot was, and now it's a hallway to the left. You know what I'm saying? So let's go check it out. No, you're good, Chozo. I think it's also just a conversation too about spoilers are subjective, and it's never. I don't know, if we're having a discussion about it and it's not malicious, it's okay. We just say, oops, I don't want to read that. Let's delete it or bump it up the chat and we keep going. But if you are somebody, this is not you, somebody that comes in and then gets argumentative about what I wasn't spoiling. I was just saying this. You know, it's up to the streamer and the player what they want to know ahead of time going into the game. That's it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, you're all good. I know it's tough because everybody's a little bit different. Oh, I don't even have to worry about high jump here anymore. What am I thinking? We have spider ball. Duh. As demonstrated. Oh well. Wow. Now I'm like turned around though. Okay. So we could keep going to the left, but we decided to go down and to the right. We're in maybe here, this area. Never played this Metroid, but I played AM2R. It's cool to see areas I recognize. Hey Geodude. Looks like it's pretty faithful remake. I think so, from what I hear. A spoiler as revealing anything that is meant to be discovered by the player. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, okay, let's try to... Are any of these breakable? Oh no, I am gonna get lost after all. Oh. What's up there? The thing I want to say absolutely isn't a spoiler, but it is a tip, hence silence as per my username. Yeah. AM2R is pretty faithful to the original. Samus Returns is very different. They're both very good games. So many items hiding from me. Oh, this one we can get though. Such derpy music. It reminds me, I feel like I had this to say about one of the other games we played recently, which is that it reminds me of an area in Link's Awakening. Oh, this is the high jump room. Oh, I went way too far over then. This is the ledge though. So, oh. Well, we're close because we went down below and then it hooked us back up with it right here. I think that's fair, right? Reminds me of Zelda. Yeah, it reminds me of, maybe like the witch and the raccoon, that first part in kind of the forest of Link's Awakening. A lot of people think lesser of OG Metroid 2, but the more I play it, the more it seems like an underrated gem. It's good so far. Hey, Maximum. Do these crumble? We haven't encountered crumble blocks yet. Were they a thing yet? And I'm... Oh, okay. I'm learning which blocks are breakable. Because clearly I don't quite have a grasp on it yet, and that is okay. Hello? There we go. There's some weird thing with momentum with the spider ball. Where if you don't get like a running start, sometimes you lose where you're trying to go. Is there something that I'm supposed to do up here in this little cubby? No? I don't know. Okay. My fave OG Game Boy were Pokemon Red, Mario Land, Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, Link's Awakening, and Pokemon Trading Card Game. Very good picks. Chozo, sorry. No, it probably just caught that you, yeah. You're good, you're good. No worries. Streamlabs is picky. There's a Game Boy Kid Icarus game that uses this game's engine. Exactly what happened with the first two games. Is this game making fun of me for being lost type of music? Yeah. Yeah, you're good. Did you know there's a patch for this game that will correct colors? We talked about it. Yes, Geodude. We're gonna spend today just with these colors, and then I think on Friday we're gonna pick some new colors. Maybe a music pack. Or just listen to a playlist. And have other audio going. But I'm gonna do this for today and see how it goes. I kind of want to get over here, right? Oh no, go up, go up. Oh. Why wouldn't it let me go back up after I bombed that? Managed to beat Zelda 2 yesterday, congrats. That's no small feat. Ah! How do I... oh well. We are going further along this way now. This hallway up here. Moosnick, welcome in. Spider-Ball's a bit jank. A little bit. We'll try to get used to it. We'll do our best. Oh wait, yeah. We're above here because this is where I dropped down before and went to the right. So we're gonna continue to go to the left. I was proud to get out of bed and not say ow yesterday. Hey Carl. Could pull up Samus Returns in AM2R OSTs. Exactly, we could do that if we want to on Friday. Oops. And then this should put us... This reminds me of where we entered this area, actually. Jen... We don't have the hang of some of the enemy movements. I wonder if there's anything that we could destroy on this bridge to go below? Oh, if I put these down and then go off screen, they don't do anything. Can I get a Link permit? I think I found Link's Awakening song you're talking about. Sure. Yeah. It's getting late for me. I think I'll sleep. Have a good sleep, Lizard. Take care. Oh, mistake. Thank you. I'm curious. This looks like a secret up here. Oh, is this where this comes out if we hadn't fallen? Maybe? This universe has no object permanence. It's true. Oh, what's that? Go, 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 go! It's a refill. Not a new item. Okay, that's fine. I'm alright with that. But now we know that this hallway up here goes across through all of that. It's like this big open space here. Chuck, hi! Thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Let me try this song really quick. I want to listen to this. Ads, please. Oh. Yeah, the shop music. That's what it gives. That's what it reminds me of. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Perfect. Thank you. Flashbacks from stealing shovels. Yeah. God, I love that game. So my map is a little iffy. A little bit iffy. But we did a big loop. And now we know there's areas we can revisit. We should try to get back to the save. And then what? Love the map cam. This is from our... Who else have I seen do this besides Bren? I've seen a couple of friends do this, and I really like it, so we're doing it too. Here, how's this? Better, more centered. It's my interpretation as I see the map. It's not perfect. We'll learn as we go. Oh, we're by the refill room again. So we basically fell... All this that I drew here is way too high up. And this is the refill room. So if I go to the right again, we should hit the save. Let's test this theory. Oh, not more pancakes. That was close. I should have taken damage there, probably. Or is it slightly different? Are we above the refill room? Is it a different room? No, here's the save. Interesting. Otefu. Hope the map doesn't need a bathroom break. It's neat to see a map can have a sort of window into the player's brain. And I think what you'll see from mine is like room shape is very important to me, so I will exaggerate it being a long ways room or a tall ways room so that I go, okay, yeah, that's like a climb versus just a single block. I'm going down here again because I think there was a spot to the left that we maybe couldn't get to yet. Or is this just where we picked up an item and that's it? This is the missile door, and then we went down... No, it was just this little... Okay. I just forgot to put a closing on the box down there. So now what do we do? Oh, here, this arrow. We want to go back to this spot. Cool. Makes it even more personal than just looking one up. I think it helps me. I'm a mix of all the different types of learning styles for different things, but I find myself to be a pretty tactile learner for certain things. Like writing notes, the act of me being the one to write it out really helps me learn by doing or by like trial and error, touching something, practicing it, and then watching somebody else do it. Versus just hearing an instruction or just looking at the map if I didn't draw it myself. Reading, writing preference, which is different from kinesthetic. There you go. Thanks, Toph. Oh, there's BB at the door again. We don't need to save again because we're about to go to the refill room with all the bugs, and I didn't accomplish anything other than map confirmation by walking down to that other hallway. This room. I want to know what's up over here. Ooh, this is gonna be gnarly though, because they're just flying at me the whole time. Forget that. So much for a refill room. I wonder if it's like, super, if I just leave the pickup there, they don't come at me. Like, they don't regenerate until after I pick up the pickup, is what it seems. Okay, now we're safe. Magus, thank you for the cat cameo. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Thank you, thank you. We'll get some music too, since there's no music on pause. I have on occasion taken an extant map, existing map maybe, and copied it to grid paper so I can include my own notes. Smart, I like it. Not very fair that enemies can fly through walls and you can't. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Extant means existing. Cool. Alright. Baby wants to say hi. Baby. Your fans want to see you. Here she is. So fluff. So content. How are you liking Metroid 2 so far, BB? My hair is in the way. Oh, she wants to bury your face. I know, the lights are bright. Yeah, they're bright. They give me a headache sometimes. Number, hello. Llama, hello. Hello, Blue Kitty. She says hi. Have your gray tabby with you right now? Nice. Better than enemies in one. Following you in a door, getting hit during the screen transition. Yeah. It's brutal. Although, you know what I had trouble with in, Zero Mission is the space pirates constantly doing knockback damage and causing me to fall back through the door I just entered into. That was super annoying. Okay, hi, yes, we're wiggly. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to look into the lights. She wants, I don't know, she wants to run around. Thanks for the cat cameo. I will be right back. Okay. Hi. Let's go back to this screen. I almost want to keep the lo-fi going. It's so nice. It's annoying in the NES games, yeah. Let's see. We're gonna keep going this way. So we're in... Oh, I forgot to put a marker. But that was the end of the refill room. There should be a door below us and to the right in this room. Is there another one up here too? No. Just spiky blob enemies. Whee! Oh, is there another one below here too? Maybe. We have bombs now, so we can bomb everything. And or look for secret tunnels everywhere. Oops. Okay, this is a new spot. I don't think I made this hallway go long enough, because I think we're here now. Spiky boys, yeah. Oh god. Are those breakable? Doesn't look like it, but I think this is breakable. Yeah, I definitely don't like what did you call it earlier? The low field of vision. I wish we could see a little bit more in each screen, but that's Game Boy for ya. I don't have to bomb jump. It's gonna take me forever to get used to the fact that I don't have to bomb jump in this game. No! This enemy can fly through the wall. But, oh, come on. Oh, it's a little bit weird. Good old 160 by 144 pixels. Remind me of the virus sprites from Dr. Mario. That's a game I've never played. Alright, we're struggling and we keep getting damaged by blocks, which is really abusing to me. I can't seem to figure out how to kill that enemy before I go up there, so maybe let's just do this. Dr. Mario stream win. I don't know that I'll be playing Dr. Mario. None of my directional inputs are working. Here we go. Just go. Just go. There we go. Okay. This room is fun. Let me make sure I make a note of where we are. I feel like I need to keep drawing the map a little lower so I don't run into what we've already drawn. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. This is where we make our own tunnel. Okay. And we can make a note that this is a big area that maybe we can come back to and destroy more blocks. For those of you that played Dr. Mario Fever vs. Chill, it scared you? Wait, what scared you? Oh, the follow alert? I'm sorry. Ooh, okay. Is this gonna be another fight with the Metroid? Is this a different... Oh, this is a different room than the one where we had the spikes. Oh, I need to keep drawing pictures. That came down here a little bit and went across. It's noticeable with the ambient boops. Yeah. Gonna be interesting to see if you remember what you mean by a lot of the notes on the map. Well, I can make a key. S equals save. Oops, hang on. I think I'll know some of it. I'll know what my intention was. M equals Metroid. The circles are where we got item pickups. Like, bombs and spider ball. The arrows are just kind of transitioning between different background, between like whatever this one seemed like a temple versus this outer world beeps and boops area. Chai, hello, welcome in. Sankari, welcome. Thank you for the human hoodie redemption. I don't think we voted on a hoodie this week. I just left it up to chat to decide. Hi, Leon, welcome in. Does this game not have music or is it just boss fights? It does have music, but this particular track is just beeps and boops. Yeah, most of it's ambient. Exactly. Maps, I love maps. We're trying our best to draw a map. How's it looking so far? Okay, Samus hoodie. I was thinking I was just gonna wear that anyway today, and then I forgot. Thank you. Very appropriate. Looks good so far. Thanks. Make you feel like you're descending into the cave of an alien species. I know it's not the most engaging soundtrack with the ambient beeps and boops, but we'll keep it going for a little longer, at least until we take our stream break, and then we can decide. So, I feel like we went down another square and then over another square. I'm kind of lost on where we are other than this bottom left-hand corner. Haven't beaten Metroid II, but maybe it's because I had no map. It's so much harder without a map. Metroidvanias not giving you a way to keep track is intense. Love the Samus hoodie, thank you. This is the Varia suit hoodie, yeah. Complete with screen printed arm cannon. Enemy looks like a melon slice. I love all the alternate names for enemies in this game. We've got also the fact that Samus's weapon looks like we're throwing lemons. And our morph ball looks like an egg yolk. So this was kind of a longer hallway down here. I don't think we're actually this low, but I kind of messed up the scale with this part here, so it's relative. Recently became a proponent of doing exactly what you're doing now, using paper maps? Yeah, nice! Very cool. Oh no! Oh, it always jump scares me. Equip missile. Oop, and miss. We've got 59 missiles? Okay. Rip. Rip! It's weird when it goes off screen like that! Where are you? Okay, if you stay up high, I can use it to my advantage. Yes! Look at that counter! 36! That was scary. I was not expecting to fight a Metroid there. Whew. If Funtune doesn't know the enemy, it doesn't exist. I step away for a workout and came back to the Samus hoodie. Yeah, I hope you had a good workout, Thief. Like the wah the Metroid makes when you hit it. Oh, maybe that's just the end of this little tunnel then for now. I guess I should try to travel along the ceiling here. Chozo, take care. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging with us. Oops. I want to get back to a save. It's interesting though, we came down here and so far, I don't know, maybe this unlocked a new door or something from that fight. But, oops. I'm not sure where we're gonna end up going next. We are the Borg. Welcome in. How's it going? Okay, well, I'm so glad I went all the way across the ceiling here. Beep, beep, boop, beep, boop. Yeah, we're gonna get a different soundtrack going on Friday, at least for this area. And whichever ones are more ambient than they are music. I remember this. Was there a way to go to the left? Yeah, okay. This map is wrong, but it's fine. And we've got that area, now I remember we've got, oh god, the area with all those white blocks that we can go back and destroy if we want to. And then we fell, let's say here, we fell down. I don't know, this map is looking more and more chicken scratch to me, but we're down here. We're right there. Oh, I meant to jump. I feel like there's gonna be another fight over here. And I haven't saved in a while and it makes me very nervous. I wonder if we can escape from Metroid fights if you can just like run out the room the other direction. Alright, now this is scarier. I was saying the intro, the first song that we heard, like the fanfare by the ship or whatever, was so cheerful and weirdly not Metroid-y sounding, but a bop nonetheless. This goes way over. Ah! Okay, but we can't escape. Should I go all the way back up and save? We haven't found a save block in so long. I think we'll be okay. We have 2 E-tanks. Peekaboo, yeah. I think we can take it. I have the advantage. I can switch out to missiles from this room. Oh, but you can't hit it until you aggro it. Oh, yeah, easy! Ta-da! They don't take very many hits, at least not yet. Maybe later they take more? Don't answer that. We'll find out when we get there. Thanks for believing in me, too. When I did not believe in myself. Is this room gonna look different now that we beat that one? No? Okay, so this was a hallway. And at the end of the hallway, there was a Metroid. We also, I don't know that I've seen it that much today, but we have a Metroid BTTV emote if you want to use it. Although my BTTV emote menu has been so confusing lately. I don't know how to use it in Twitch, but it still works in OBS, so. And they also look nothing like the ones in this game. Shadow, welcome. How's it going? Wish it worked on mobile. Me too. Me too. So now we're back in this vertical room. I think we can go up and to the left, maybe? I'm not sure. I know we can go up and to the right, because that's where we fell from. Oh, come on. Just saw the pen and paper map. Here it is. Pencil and paper, though, because I'm already erasing lots of lines. There we go. Sometimes you push a directional input for Spider Ball and it doesn't respond, so you have to stop pushing any directional inputs. And you have to wait, and then it works the next time. I can't figure out if there's any sense to it, but it's a thing. No, not yet, imagination. I might... Okay, I do have a question for you all, though. Do you think it would be valuable to me to read the Game Boy manual? I think I want to go to the right here. Oh, actually, I'm kind of confused. Did we not go this way yet? Chai, thank you for thanking the mods. You would say yes. Okay, cool. So I will do that either on stream today or between streams. Old games expect you to a bit. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, you know, the Game Boy games I had when I was a kid, I feel like I always read the manual before ever even starting to play, so we should do that. Is this not the same room we fought you in before? I actually don't know. I might have gotten a little bit turned around. But we can retrace our steps and confirm. Oh. This part of the ritual of getting a new game. It was! You would like read it on the car ride home from the store. The best incarnation of the Spider Ball doesn't mean it doesn't have issues. The controls are more than a little wonky. Yeah. Yep, exactly. You post the link. Thank you, Ta. Thank you, thank you. Probably. Metroid Recon has the manual uploaded. Most old Nintendo games put what they couldn't tell in the game into the manual, be it story, controls, character names, mechanics, or more. Especially JRPGs are often spoiler disasters where whoever wrote the manual just kept digging for material without a care for spoiling entire plot twists. True. I feel like the last manual I read, I feel like I read the heck out of the Chrono Cross manual before playing that game. And so the whole, like, fact that certain characters existed was spoiled for me because it's right there. It tells you this is the character, this is what they look like, their name, whatever else about them. So you weren't surprised when you saw them, but you were surprised when you found out who they were. But they really just gave you like a bunch of key items and I don't know. But then oops, shoot, I should turn that off. As far as other games I've played, modern games, they don't really have manuals anymore, so I don't read them. And then there's no spoilers. Let me double check the manual, see if there's an optimal time for you to read it. Okay. Just have an ad for the Day 1 DLC. Think of the manual for Xenogears as the most recent, where the game has pretty decent plot twists and the character bios throw them out the window. That's such a bummer. Oop. Oh, panic. It's okay. So now this is the top of this room. This goes over to the right. Yeah, I know where we are. Okay, weird. This is, I messed up drawing this, but we're right here in this little hallway going towards the right. The horrible thing will be if I have to come back down here later and I forget things from the first day. And then we're like, why did I make this note this way? And then this is the one room with like the million blocks that we can destroy. Alright, that's fair. But the screen shook when we fought that other Metroid. So I don't know if that unlocked something new or... Oh, I see what this looks like now. There are some enemy spoilers? Okay, good to know. Thanks, Geodude. Best game manual, save the walkthrough guide, content for strategy game guides. Purchase separately, containing just what the player needed to pick up the game and play at any point within the game. I remember reading the Pokemon Blue... Oops, I trapped myself in here. Manual extensively. I remember reading... or booklet, not manual, booklet. The thing that came with the cartridge. I feel like I read the Majora's Mask one a lot, even though I didn't end up playing the game that much. We had the walkthrough guide for Ocarina of Time. I read the heck out of that thing. Section of items and enemies. Okay. I'm happy for games to no longer have manuals. Games can and arguably should be capable of standing on their own. It's far more understandable that games benefited from additional paper manuals back that they didn't have the fidelity to convey that information. Yeah. If we can get away with show not tell, then it's cool that we do. One of these has to... There we go. Today is the day where I hopefully get the hang of exiting out of, like, canceling Spider Ball. Goodness. I feel like we need health refill too. Not having a manual is laziness and greed on the developers and producers' part. The major spoiler is the enemy section. Okay, good to know. I'll appreciate the lore explanations. We didn't get much to go off of. Oh, can I go under you? Ah! Okay, we're coming out of this section. There's gonna be like a giant vertical hallway. A guide or art book are usually more enjoyable physical editions alongside a game, since they typically contain a lot of alternative quality artwork not seen in the game. Yeah, art books are fun. Was there anything else in this vertical room? No, no other exit, it looks like. Oh, I want that health! Oh good, it stayed. It did have object permanence. Wow. That's rare for this game so far. And then this, if we go left here, that takes us back to our other piece of paper. Which I drew the biggest blocks ever for. Ooh, I don't want to get hit by this spiky enemy. We're so floaty. I kind of love it. I'm going up here so that we can go back to the save that's right here. Object permanence hype. Remembering I had chopped up Metroid II manual into pieces? Oh my gosh. For Letopus to avoid spoilers. That's so kind of you. That's so helpful. This is the refill room. That's the scary refill room. Which, honestly, we kind of want to hang out in here and actually refill. It looks like it's the same as, Super. They don't respawn if the item is still hanging out there. Yeah. Eclectic, thank you for thanking the mods. Oh, is there a finite number of them? The enemies, not the mods. Oop, face the right way. It appears there might be. That's useful. We can do what I wanted to do earlier. Infinite mods, yeah. A mod refill room! Oh my god. Well, I don't know that gave us much. Thank you for the hydrate. I have seltzer but not water. I'll get some more water when we go on break, which will be soon. Not the pancakes. What if they blocked the save room, though, because we had that earthquake after we fought another Metroid? Music again! Yay! Okay. Now I'm hungry. Yeah, pancakes sound delicious right now. Do you all want to listen to this song when we go on break, or do you want lo-fi? I'm cool with either. I'm gonna make an emergency save state, which we always do on the first day of our playthroughs. Just in case. Lo-fi, please? I think actually I will want lo-fi in my ears because I have these earbuds while I'm running around on our break. We might just keep lo-fi for a bit. I need some chill zen tunes. There we go. You can also use song whenever we play lo-fi now on stream. !song to tell you what the track is. Zen for Jen. Specifically to clip out the manual's artwork for the enemies to be able to have each one be seen after each encounter. Oh. Thanks, Llama. Track gets a bit grating without much interruption. Yeah. Alright, friends. Thanks for being here. We're gonna go just take a quick break, stretch, use the bathroom, get water, have a snack, whatever you need to do, and then we'll be back. See you soon. Welcome back, humans. Sorry for the delay. Had to check a couple things in Discord. Probably out of watching. Do you all want to watch the direct? I can definitely, I mean, it's about to happen, like, now. I can definitely pause it if there's dread chat and spoilers. Because I'm not wanting to watch those either. Hi. Let me see if I can make this happen real quick. Yeah, it's happening. I wanna check it out. I think my curiosity is getting the better of me. I thought it was today. Is it tomorrow? Oh, well then I have my wires crossed. Literally all of the YouTube searches are, we'll see you at tomorrow, all caps. That's so funny. Okay, perfect. Then no, we're not gonna watch it. Oh, eclectic. I was all excited, but I had my dates completely wrong. That's hilarious. Streamer moment. Tunes, hi. It's good to see you. How are things going? And Oracle came in while we were on break, and Chai departed. Hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. Right this second, it's the 23rd for me. Yeah, I know, we just hit the 23rd for you, Llama, for our Central European Standard Time friends. Had me panicking, I'm sorry. Well, we can just, we're chatting coming back from our break here. I needed to unhook the map cam for a second because I think Discord did an update. I couldn't get it to open on desktop after I had pushed go live, which is good because I don't want it to update when I hit go live because we all know that makes the stream tank, so we can get back to Metroid. Yeah. Wonder if they'll announce final Smash character? Oh. Well, maybe. We watched the direct where Dread was announced. We watched it as a community in the Discord, and that's the first Nintendo Direct I've ever watched. Like this year, I watched Wholesome Direct, Annapurna, Showcase, and Nintendo Direct. Did I watch something else? Maybe the Nintendo Indie one? I have never been like that big into announcement things before, but it's kind of part of my job now, I guess. Caught up on a lot of needed work today. Oh, cool. Oh, playing True Colors. Nice. And table welcome. Ori 3. Oh my gosh. Is that supposed to happen? That would be amazing. Okay. Well, since we're not doing that, let's switch to retro games. Sorry, it's very flashy. And I guess it decided to not do the cam. One moment, please. Here, I'm gonna switch back because I don't want it to be wiggling all over the place and making anybody super dizzy while I set this up. Why is this turning on the flash? It wasn't before. There we go. I was like, I don't want my phone is just gonna completely die if we have the flash on for the cam for the whole stream. Alright, we should be good. Yay, map cam. This is what we're working with. This is where we are. This save room right here. Here, should I hold it closer for a second? Wow. Jen's chicken scratch notes that are really messy. Okay. What are we gonna do in this game next? How's the music? Is that a good volume? I think we're gonna leave lo-fi for a little bit. Prime 4 announcement? Oh my gosh. The map looks pretty good. Thank you. We're trying. I don't have any unfinished spots on my map of things that I wanted to go back to. So I almost want to leave this area and go back to our other map, which is here, which has like nothing, which I almost want to redraw this because of how big I made these dang squares. But we could just kind of mess with the scale if we need to. Chewy, hi, welcome. The map making is okay. It's not bad. It's a little bit messy, but I haven't color coded yet either. Okay, well we can't switch maps until we actually leave this area, so maybe let's Maybe let's leave this area and see if we see something new since we've battled a couple of Metroids. Looks fun. It's definitely helping me. It's helping my muscle memory and all that. We're pretty good on health at the moment. Never played the original Metroid II. Yeah, there was much deliberation about which Metroid 2 I should play. I want to play all of them eventually, but we went ahead and started with the original. I know they're all excellent in their own right. Well, okay, excellent. Some people wouldn't say this game is excellent, but I know people do really love this one for what it is for the original, so... yeah. I think... So this right here is gonna go down to the left. And then this should be our exit from the area. Super Metroid Maker, oh my gosh. It would be true Nintendo fashion, especially if it's gonna be Christmas time. Yeah. Are you allowed to stream AM2R? Do you get shut down? That's what we've talked about too, is that I don't think I can stream it on Twitch. I think maybe we will end up streaming it to the Discord because it's tricky with DMCA. Tend to memorize the map anyway, so this is adding to that. So I think I didn't do a very good job of marking this, but this should be this room on the end here. I feel like, imagination, if this was your first experience with Metroid, I feel like this is a really solid, good first experience. Compared to NES, which I just think is much more painful. I mean, we've been streaming for 2 hours. I barely played NES Metroid for 10 minutes, and I was like, okay, I get the love of the original. I do, especially if you have nostalgic, wonderful feelings for it, but it was too punishing for Jen. And this feels like it'll be more manageable. We're back on our map, this map now. We're right here. Super Map Maker, yeah. A Dungeon Maker in Link's Awakening. Oh, I forgot about that. That's right. I didn't mess with that at all, but I remember finding it and thinking it was so interesting. A solid first entry, Nestroid was tough. Yeah, tough and rough. Sat on Nintendo Power's top 10 Game Boy game list for quite a while. There you go. When we did, so I think we talked about Sneak Bike maybe last stream. Oh, I didn't realize this room was so tall. When we used to play test games for Sneak Bike for the people, like whoever would be racing and figuring out what was a good beginner level game, expert level, intermediate, advanced, all of that. I feel like something like this, when you're testing controls, you're like, what? Yeah, when you say jump, you jump. When you say shoot, you shoot. It feels pretty good. It's pretty straightforward. Versus some of the other more obscure titles sometimes, or just known to be more challenging titles we would pick. It was like, these controls feel weird. I don't know how anybody's dealing with this. Yeah. So this was in the corner of this room still? Why did I never come down here? This is like off to the left, and then there's a little tunnel that goes down. My dream secret reveal, like a Nintendo Direct? Oh my gosh. A Hollow Knight, a Silk Song release date. So we can start the countdown. That's a really good question. I don't know. think Metroid devs were coming up against limitations of developing Metroidvania on NES. Absolutely, yeah. Not like I said, I can see why people love it. It's the first one, and people have a lot of love for NES. I am out of touch with NES. It's not my console. It's not what I grew up on. Poorly designed. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of limitations. Reveled for managing to have panning screens, horizontal or vertical, groundbreaking at the time. Yes. Yeah, not like Castlevania games where we already had the concept. Do you all have like a dream? Oh, I'm getting distracted though and not drawing my map. A dream game reveal like Antable was asking? This just keeps going further down, huh? I got my, you know, we all got our Axiom Verge 2. That was a while ago that it was revealed. I just happened to play the game and then be like, wait, I'm playing a game and there's already a second one and it's about to come out? This is amazing. Good timing for that. Yours was Dread, yeah. You went left in Metroid as opposed to the usual right. Yeah. You can use the Xbox Adaptive Controller on Switch. Yes. Dream reveal. Not a game, but a very important accessibility feature. This kind of goes down diagonal. Need to order physical release when it goes live. Yeah. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Is there a bombable something something? Or I guess a Breath of the Wild release date would be cool. Breath of the Wild 2, rather. What else? I can't think right now. I'd have to look at my, I don't know, Steam games list or something. Look at my N64 favorites. You know what I missed out on is, I loved, we've talked about this, I loved Harvest Moon 64, excuse me, as a kid. And I was gonna try one of the Switch games, but it completely, I was doing some research on it, and I guess it completely changed hands from who was working on it. And it's not really, there's like 2 branches of Harvest Moon games now, which is the one that I've seen people play, the Olive Town one, is supposed to be pretty good, and then there's a different one. I don't know. Grew up with NESs at friends' houses, but those were spending time with friends things. The first system I fell in love with was Sega Genesis, yeah. Love to see Ori and Smash, oh my gosh. New to the Switch, so I wouldn't even know what to wish for. Ocarina of Time remake, but you play as Sheik, oh my gosh. Yeah, my dream release is putting all the N64 games on the Switch online mode. Somebody was talking about that, I think, when I was looking at release news on Twitter. People hoping for, wishing for, speculating, putting Game Boy games on there. Oops. Putting N64 games on there. Parker, hi, welcome. Collecting collectibles. Dream game for me. Diddy Kong Racing 2? Oh, I loved Diddy Kong Racing. I feel like there's gonna be a Metroid fight in here, no? Okay, excuse you. Excuse you, try that again. Ugh. I can't hit it. I can. I'm failing to hit it. There we go. So now we're going, this is kind of underneath here. We're going this way instead because there was acid over here. We can come back to it. Story of Seasons, that's the one, yeah. But I haven't been doing a lot of, like, we tried My Time at Portia on stream a while back, and it was cute. I liked it, but I didn't end up spending time with it off a stream. And I haven't spent time in Stardew in a minute, and I used to love Stardew. I still love Stardew, but I just don't find myself opening it back up. Ooh, this is gonna take us back. Vertical. Okay. Gameboy Online is very likely. Data mining has shown existing code for it. Oh. True Pie in the Sky Dream Reveal right now would be a proper Rayman game. Oh my gosh. I played the Rayman that came out. You could play it on N64. It was kind of janky with the way that you had to do the controller pack save states. But we had a controller pack. So I used it for that. And I was terrible at it, but I thought it was really cool looking. Might get back to Stardew again, have fishing challenge for charity stream. Nice! Forget N64, I won GameCube, yeah. N64 controller for Switch? What? Okay, this goes up and up and up. And, ooh, spikes? And to the left. So let's cut it off, let's say here. This is our vertical. And now we're going to the left. Rayman 1 was one of my very first games I played. Nice. These are new enemies. Can I affect you, or... No? You look like a platform I would maybe be able to jump on if I could freeze you. I don't even know if ice missiles, ice beam exists in this game. And don't tell me. Can I... Okay. A more realistic dream is Animal Crossing New Horizons getting a flood of content. Oh, that too. That would be fun. I was so excited. This was well over a year ago, but I was so excited when they came out with swimming in Animal Crossing. It was the cutest thing ever, and we were stuck inside for quarantine, and I was like, man, I miss swimming at the lake, going and going to the beach, swimming with friends, and like having a lake day. I don't know, collecting shells, and you could do that in Animal Crossing. It was so cute. Those enemies are interesting. I don't know what their deal is. We're gonna find out later. We haven't seen another save room in a while. Okay, so this went over, and I don't know, it was kind of like a bigger room that dipped down, and now we're here. That's the entrance to the room we're in. It looks pretty narrow. Looks like maybe another refill room? Maybe a Metroid fight room? Aha! Okay, we got this. Played Rayman 2 on N64 when we had no save pack, so I just got good at the game enough to nearly play it in one day. Oh, yeah, child me had lots of time. I commend you. I could not get through it. We would rent it. So even though I had the save pack, I had, whatever, 3 days with a save file, and I still couldn't get very far. Scary. Oh. Oh, I thought that... Oh, God. There we go. 33? 33? Okay. Save. Let's hope there's a save. Rayman Advance and Metroid Fusion were my favorite Game Boy Advance games as a kid. I would love to play Rayman Advance. That would be fun. I feel like we should do that. How do you feel about Ni no Kuni 2 coming to the Switch? I never played Ni no Kuni, and it was on my list, like my wish list for a while, but I never picked it up. I think I ended up watching someone else play it and kind of get my fill of it, because it was, I have a lot of games that are on the radar, but I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna want to drop the money on them because the backlog has these things prioritized, you know? I just took something off of my wish list the other day. What was it? Oh, I think I ended up taking Sunblaze off of my wish list, which I was kind of bummed about. I mean, yeah, I'm weird. I know you can have your wish list be miles long, but I like to try to consolidate it, especially because I have a lot of games on there that haven't even been released yet. Sunblaze is like a precision platformer that was getting a lot of good hype. But we can always revisit. Oh, this room looks familiar. But these enemies don't look familiar. Open areas. We were talking about open areas, and this game sure does have them. So this is here, and this is like big open space, we think. I'll just sort of sketch it in because we don't know for sure yet. All the art is done by Studio Ghibli, yeah. Classic blockbuster conundrum. Do I want one for 1, 3, or 7 days? Yeah. Want to play at some point. The art style is beautiful. Love Wario Land 3 for Game Boy Color. Kind of Metroidvania looking back at it now. We've talked. Do I still have it sitting out? I still have it sitting out because we've talked extensively about Wario Land 4. It always comes up. It comes up because of Fusion and Zero Mission, and I have it. And I loved it. I should play Wario Land 3 too. And 2 also? Anyways. This is my Game Boy SP. How many times? We should start a counter. It's just so nice and you know, fits right in the palm of your hand. It's easy for me to keep it nearby, whereas like I can't just unhook my N64 and be like, look, here it is. It's much clunkier. Wario Land 2 is great as well. Nice. Release an open world Donkey Kong. Oh, unfurl. Unmorph, please. No, not back. Oh, these always, the pancakes are killer. So this is, we're gonna say that this is way tall, okay. Because it looks like we've got an exit up here, and I'm guessing also one down below. Maybe we'll get a Metroid Prime 4 date or Prime Trilogy for Switch. Yep. Yep. Game shares a lot of assets with Fusion. Yeah. I want to scroll up. Still is quite tough as Rayman 1 always was. There is Rayman Redemption fan game remastering. Ooh, cool. If difficulty is a concern, depends. Depends what kind of difficulty. Those that don't know, oh, thank you. Yep, thanks Imagination. The Studio Ghibli movies, if you didn't know what that meant. Need more Wario Land games. What's the most recent one? DK64 was a concept of open world, yeah. Wario World. Okay. This is very open. Oh, you didn't drop health. Oh. Hello? D-pad? There we go. Ah! Yeah. Okay, it hits like the same little corner spot every time. Ooh, this seems risky. So here, I'm gonna draw this a little bit better. Let's say this comes up here, and that's the ceiling of this room, right? And then somewhere along here, we didn't ever actually hit the ceiling though. There was like a ledge that we came up to, maybe here, and then this goes over and there's still mega ceiling, and now we're going out this tiny little exit. Sure. Sure, Jen. Okay. Basically, we're all saying, please take our money, Nintendo. Oh my gosh. True. Not too many Nintendo releases all at once because money. Oh, okay, that's fine. Wario World was on GameCube, 3D main Wario game. Cool. Wario Land Shake It was the last one. Huh. Made some mini game. Right, the WarioWare games are really fun, but not, you know, if you're looking for platformer and or adventure game, less so than a party game. WarioWare is not gonna do that for you. Oh, this is hurting. We're getting beat up. I kind of want to go back and see if either of these drop health. This one dropped missiles last time, I think. Oh, nothing this time. Pancakes. My nemesis. Aha! Okay. Oh, we're so low on health. Was the last platforming title? Yeah. Here's the ledge we were talking about. Is this a secret? No. Ooh. What? And then this is the exit on the lower part of this room, which we haven't looked through the bottom here, but it looks like this is all closed off bridge. Haven't actually played a Wario Land game, but I've really enjoyed what I've played of the Game Boy Advance one. Yeah. Yay, we were just talking about a save. I'm so happy. Save. That is excellent news. We're right here. Save. You are here. I should do a little... I mean, it would be cool if we had a way to have a marker that tells you the whole time. We're still really low on health for what I would feel comfy with, but at least we saved. The bold new feature. Oh, love it. The lore expansion of WarioWare characters. I'd love to see WarioWare cast be in Wario Land title somehow. Yeah. I love all the characters in those. Such a good cast. What is this? It looks like the magnet thing, but I don't think it is. Will there be a spoof nail art stream in the future? Well, there will be a Metroid nail art stream soon. You know what? I called it too. We were talking about nail art and my polish is gone. It chipped. It started to come off, so I just took it all off. So we'll be ready to do that soon. Metroid nails, and then we're gonna do... Yeah, we should do scary nails. We did Hollow Knight nails last year, and that was really fun. This is the save room, and then it looks like this is kind of a tall hallway that keeps going to the left. Oh, shoot. I was looking away for a second, and we're gonna die. What is this? A turret. Yikes. Face planting into it. Drop health. Yes. Oh, we would be getting low health beeps. Candy corn and monsters. Oh, number. I should post, I have pictures of the Halloween nails I did in nail school, and I have these really cool candy corn nails that I did. I have ghost ones, I have mummy ones, and I think I just did ones that were black and orange. For anybody that doesn't know or is new to chat, I went to nail tech school before the pandemic, so that is also part of my background. We don't do it as often on stream anymore, but from time to time we gotta go do more nail art. Why? We just had a save. And I'm so low on health, I don't really want to save again. I messed up this little drawing. I was afraid of putting this too high because of this right here. Like, I think this room has a high ceiling. I'm also putting huge gaps between areas because I don't want to run out of room. Here's another save. The turrets are called aw tracks. Okay. The health music is intense in this game, I bet. Been thinking dabbling in painting mine? Yeah! Excuse me. I say do it. It's so fun. Is this... Okay, science time. We're probably gonna have our first death. Is this acid? No. This is water? I wish it healed us. I wish it was healing potion. Oh, well now I don't want to go back because of this turret. The save stations here baffle me. I feel like it's because of this that they put one there. You make it past the turret and then they give you another one. Thanks, Austin. I'm proud of the map. We're getting into a groove here. And I'm not afraid to use multiple pages if we have to. Llama, exactly. Probably a lot of saves as it's handheld. Yeah. A Hollow Knight hot tub. I wish. That's what I was hoping. Oh, I really don't want to save with 33 health, but I guess we will. Are we gonna save state? Just in case? Maybe? As a precaution? I know that's not, that doesn't, there's no logic there. I know, 30 HP respawn just like Nestroid. Oh. Also think that's why it's more linear, has a lot of stuff comes from being on Game Boy. Yeah. Alright, so we just entered into whatever this room is. It looks like it has a high ceiling too. Hello? Pow, 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 pow. Oh. You gotta drop health. Not missiles. Eee. That was risky. It's like stuck over there in the webbing. 18 health. Oh, this is gnarly. Why did I want to come up here anyway? We don't need to come up here. Hide. Okay, give me health. This goes, so let me draw this room going up. And then it looks like, does this connect to the room we were in previous? Oh yeah, this will be the other side of that small room with the item pickup that we got. I forgot to mark that actually. This was an item pickup. Oh, interesting. This should be now? Maybe not? Ooh, I don't know. Oh. Oh! Scary! Wait, I'm not ready for this. This is not what I was expecting at all, to be up here. Maybe we can just draw this like it came up a little bit higher, and then I can draw it in the middle here. this hallway was maybe longer than I drew it. Didn't mean linear is a bad thing. No, yeah.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna have to bounce, have fun, and good luck with the game. Thank you, Fenris. Take care. Have a good one. And thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. Welcome in. I kind of want to go back over here and see if we can get a little bit more, health before we investigate that room, or should we just go for it? Now it's too enticing for me to walk back. We've got to save. It's not terribly far away. Oh, that's what they look like before they break out of the thing. Oh, okay. I have my missiles now. I forgot to equip them. Are you stuck there? Oh. Okay, you can totally use the side-scrolling screen as like a cheat though, right? Because you get it right where you want it to be vertically and then you duck out and then it's still there when you come back. Jellyfish are the larval stage. That's right, and we know this because of Prime. But I've only ever seen them in Prime. No, and we've seen the Omega Metroid. Again, I'm very lacking on my lore, I apologize, but it's hard to learn all the game's stories when you play them out of order and you're like, oh no, spoilers! I can't believe we survived that. Should we go back and save? Yeah, we should probably. Oops, I'm wasting missiles. Mom the Human, hello, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. We saw the Metroid stages in the secret lab, Metroid Fusion. Yeah. All the forms, you're right, all the forms were in the background, and you all told me around that time you were like, you need to play one of the Metroid 2s to understand what's going on here. Yeah, Metroid life cycle is convoluted. No, absolutely nothing of Metroid lore. That is totally fine. All I know is Metroid is not the Samus. Only fought Alpha Metroids, I believe. I thought at the end of... Oh, well, it's not technically an Omega Metroid. It's like a Parasite X Omega Metroid. Slash... Oh, I don't know. Okay. That was a real Omega Metroid. Oh, well. Cool. What is this little... What's going on here? Oh. I guess there was a tile in the ceiling there? Oh. This is the room I was thinking of? Yes, this is the room I was thinking of. Okay, so we were close. We just... Okay, here. I'm gonna fix this. Ready? We need one extra square to the right, and then this goes like up, up, up. Over. We'll put an M here. And then this drops down, and now we're connected to the room with the item that we had before. Perfect. We made it work. We smushed it in there. Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. Let's maybe bring it back, because we're getting into... I'm asking a lot of fusion questions, Llama, that's why. But thank you for being cautious. Yeah, no worries, everybody. I think because we're doing a lot of question and answer without safe word, so can be mutated through phazon exposure. Let's get away from the lore because I don't know it all yet. Someday we will be able to hash all of this out. I apologize. Yeah, no shame. Yeah. Oh, that's where this comes out. Oh, cool, cool, cool. We don't need to stay in Spider Ball. That comes out Oh, I guess I could drop down, right? Because that'll take us to the save quicker. Instead of having to go past those spikies. Do we want to save with 18 health, though? Not particularly. The ones that aren't mentioning as they were in Fusion, I'm being safe on. It's cool. Oops. And I know, like, it's not game mechanics to talk about the life cycle of the Metroids. I get that, you know. I'm just excited to, yeah, Danger Town on lore. I'm excited to read about it later, and I don't want to spoil any of it now when we don't have to. When we have plenty to talk about with Metroid II here and what we've seen so far. Help! Does this block come back every time I scroll out of... Yes. I appreciate you all understanding the spoiler stuff. This is such a tall room too. Does this go all the way back to like where we first entered this part of the map? What are you? I don't trust you. I want a better look, but also I don't want to die. Okay, we need more space actually between the start of this area and the map and here, I think. Maybe these are longer than I drew them. Because this just went up and up and up and up and up and up and up to oblivion. But we can obviously make these shorter now, right? Because I drew them massive when we started. Oh, but I'm afraid to like undo it. How do we remedy this? Do we get a new piece of paper? All right, one thing at a time. Lots of verticality in this game, for sure. I will annotate this with a little, like, up arrow. We'll figure out how to deal with that in a moment. Pow. Because right now our health situation is kind of sort of dire. And I think we should save so we don't lose progress and then just go after health pickups. This is just gonna cause us to drop off. Oh, we can do this? I thought I tried this before. Weird. Redoing your maps is an important part of cartography. I'm sure Cornifer had to redraw a map or two. Probably. Oh, maybe this isn't the room I thought it was. Oh my god. Where are we? Secrets? Wow. Scary. Scary enemy. Okay. Let's just go ahead and... Oh, I'm a little bit lost on my map, though, because we went off script. Trav, hi, welcome in. It's good to see you. Happy time zone. They had to make it vertical with Spider Ball being a thing. Yeah, I see that now. Oh no, this is all... Oh, okay. So... how do we deal with this? I'm thinking now we're here. We're down here somewhere. Because this is just going on and on. And it's not quite what I was expecting. And I need somewhere else to draw it, so that's what we're gonna do. Every enemy is scary at low health. That one looked big and it had, like, what are the chomper things called that spiders have? Like mandibles or whatever? Most of the map is relatively unique, not too hard to memorize most areas. I think we'll be okay. I'm not so lost as to be in danger. But I was doing an okay job for a little bit there of like drawing the room every time we came into a new one. And then I abandoned it because I thought I knew where we were gonna pop out on the other side. This is like a tall room too. More distinct than Metroid, yeah. Oh, is this? No. Weird. Okay, I guess we're going to the left now. Oh, pencil lead broke. My bad. Mandibles, yeah. Scary enemy is called Auto-Ad. Only experience with Metroid is through this channel, but I must say I'm impressed with how each game seems to introduce a new ability that's also different from other games to really change it up. Yeah! We've seen... Ooh. This is scary too. So much, like, variation and experimentation. Oh, we're all the way back here now? Or is this just another one of those rooms that looks exactly like this? But that didn't have a pickup in it before. Bird on the wall is called Wallfire. Appropriate. Uh-huh. I like it. I guess we're getting more missiles here. Now the map is toast because I messed up. Ugh. So many missiles. This is good. We need them. Oh, I don't remember seeing this before. So that room just looks like the other one. But it actually had a pickup in it. This map is horrible now. Autoed. Oh, right. Oh, I guess we're just gonna drop down here? Weird. Lots of pickups, dang! We need to go save so we can keep all these. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I can roll past the wall fire without taking damage. Oh, it does not like that. So I think the answer is that you don't take damage, but it doesn't want you to do it. Not a Metroid game until you get lost. Well, I'm a newbie. I haven't played one without a really comprehensive map yet. Hey, Kopsky, welcome in. Thanks for cheering me on. Makes it satisfying when you find your way. True. I mean, it wouldn't be a Metroid II stream if I didn't get a little bit lost. Let's be real. It's the first day. I have not perfected my map strategy yet. Oh, this one. Oh, I don't like this. How are we feeling about the lo-fi? I'm feeling pretty good about it. If there's a really, like, a bop of a track that you all want to hear, feel free to let me know and be like, Jen, turn on the music for a little bit. You're missing out. Alright, so that was this room. We went down and then we went to the right and there was another couple of pickups in here, but I couldn't figure out how to get the other one. I guess I could do closed circles for pickups that I got and open circles for pickups that I didn't. I'm gonna leave that room open-ended as well so we know to go back there at some point. Yes. Thanks, Eclectic. I'm doing my best. AM2R music would be sweet. Yeah, so do we have that in the Discord already? Or is that something that I will need to acquire in time for Friday? Oh, can they DMCA the music? Oh, good point. It's not your favorite. So it depends. Does AM2R sound like... It sounds like Nintendo music, right? It sounds like Metroid. Because we're not going to get... It's not that we would get copyright strikes from the makers of AM2R. That's not our problem with AM2R. Our problem with it is that Nintendo doesn't like people streaming it. Because it's... Oh god, no, the blocks hurt me. Oh, I don't like this room. How are we going to get back up through here? We're going to use Spider Ball. I'm still not used to it. It's kind of like Prime. Mostly Metroid remixes. See, and that's another weird thing, which is that game music on Twitch as your default playlist is even in question, right? Because you don't own the rights to the game music, but if you own the game and you stream the game, most of the time you're okay, except for in those weird cases when you get a claim. I don't know. We should be close to the... We should be here in this big room now. I think. And this was where... Okay, yeah, this is where we came down and started getting lost, so we can backtrack. Oh, right. And this has a secret passage that I don't want to pursue yet. Oh, Jen, don't draw your arrow like that. That looks terrible. I guess I'll just leave it open-ended. I don't need to draw an arrow. But that tells me we want to come back. People have streamed it anyway. Better to err on the side of caution. Yeah. Creator of AM2R was given a cease and desist. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to risk the channel getting a strike. That would be bad. I'm just gonna say that I appreciate all, like, I know we're just having a conversation about it. It is not, no one is pushing me any one direction or the other. We're all kind of just spitballing here, which is fine. Oh, weird. Can we not get out of this tube? Okay, so the reason that I couldn't go up that before is because you actually have to be inside the tube from these like blue entrancey things. All right, we're learning. So this room still could be wherever... Oh, I don't know. This area of my map is jumbled, but here, this is more centered on the screen for you. And the thing about game music is a lot of people use it and don't get claims and don't get strikes and anything, and remixes. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. I have personally only ever used lo-fi, and then we had a playlist on Spotify in the beginning that someone else had made on Spotify, and they called it like royalty free or like lo-fi for streaming. But I didn't have the explicit, page that says, yes, feel free to use this on your channel. I was just trusting someone else's creation of a playlist. Since DMCA stuff started really changing on Twitch, we've only used either Harris Heller Stream Beats or Lofi Girl, and both of them give you the page that says, like, yes, you have my permission because it's my label, and or like, here's the streaming rights. Like Lofi Girl has it, do this, write this at the bottom of your channel, we will not claim it. If you have issues, here's our help support number. And I've actually had to email their support email before because we had a muted VOD, and I was like, what? But all your stuff says it's okay to use. And it's because the Twitch like auto detection system thought that the music was something that it wasn't. Anyways, I'm rambling, but I'm pretty picky about what music I play on stream. That was the whole point of that. Now I know where we are again, and we have all these open-ended passageways to come back and explore right here, and I guess technically here, and down here for later. But what I'm trying to do, so somehow this connects to this, which is all wonky and messed up, but we're up here now and we're trying to get to this save. And this room might have some enemies that we can get health from. We did before. Had issues with it recently and tried to delete the songs that were muted but ended up deleting the entire list. Did you appeal it, Llama? Did you look at specifically which song was getting claimed? Because when I've gotten muted sections on Twitch lately, I go to appeal it and it's not even a song that's on the Lofi Girl playlist. It's like just some other ambient lo-fi generic thing that is like, oh, this sounds like X by the artist X, and it's not. So I can go in and say, nope, that's not what was on my channel. Oops, shit, we're gonna die. No, we died. We got so many missiles, we have to go back through that whole area and do it all over again. No. I'm curious though, I feel like we should bolster ourselves more before doing all that anyways. Yeah, F's in the chat, that was brutal. Rough. The rare expletive. That was like several strung together. I apologize. I have to... You know what's interesting? I didn't even think about this before, and that's on me. But I have to think about expletives now for the sake of YouTube. Because they have really specific rules on swearing, but we never used to have to worry about it. Oh, do we have to fight the Metroid again, too? I think we do. Like, they numerically will say, if you say this type of word this many times, you could be at risk. Not that my channel is anywhere close to being big enough to do that, but when they screen your videos, I think when I started worrying about it was because uploads will take longer if it's running checks. It's running like it's profanity checks on your stuff. And if you swear, it's going to take longer for them to decide what type of video it is that you're trying to publish. Adpocalypse, exactly. You gotta read all the rules. Yeah, 30 HP respawn is real. So then, what was up here again? A bunch of stuff. Oh no. Well, now this game is punishing for sure. I feel like we should exit and enter and just keep chatting while I continue to kill this one fly over and over again, because that's our safest bet. That's gonna take so long. Oh, I wish we were by like a refill room. Maybe we should go, maybe we should forget this vertical wall and see what else is in the room below us for now, and then we can come back and repeat this section. Want to check it, but okay, it's good to know. Sounded like such a hassle. I will try to pick up the fight next time. This time I just leave the VOD. Llama, let me know, because if they're claiming a song that's not in your video, you can appeal it. And I've had one highlight, I think, that they unmuted it. That it was, like, the appeal went through. It took forever, though, but that was something. I don't know. It's up to you. Zero Mission Item Hunt is going really well. Tomorrow at 12:30 we're gonna do our Discord stream as usual, and we have 5 items left in Ridley, and then we should be done. We were at 93% last stream. I went and beat the boss. I got the 93% screenshot, and then we got a couple more items after that. We got 2 more items, and so we're down to the last 5. It was during my starting soon screen, so the song was on screen. Oh, nice. Interesting. Very interesting. But I wonder if that's even the song that they claimed. Okay, let's die again and not go up this wall, because this vertical wall is giving us problems. Game over. I'm surprised we lasted as long as we did. Did we save with 33 health after the Metroid? I don't think so. I'm gonna look at, I feel like the chat box font is really large. I'm gonna look at adjusting our chat if we're gonna put it above map cam like that, because it looks a little it looks a little funky. The detection can be a little weird. True Colors has an option to mute licensed music, which I did most of the time, but there was a moment I didn't, so it wouldn't sit in silence, and it didn't get muted. 2 other parts did get muted while I had the option to have licensed music turned on. Gotcha. Thanks, Tunes, for the info. The guy that keeps killing you is called a Senju. Nice. Yeah, chat looks really big on stream. Okay, so what else is over here that we can maybe get some health from instead of going up that wall every time? Oh, spikes? Okay, nope. There's also stuff below us. James, hi. Thanks for the hello. Welcome in. I don't like not being able to see what the platform is underneath me. Oh dear. Okay, this is safer. Marking refill stations. Yes. Refill rooms, which is like the bug room. So maybe not doing it appropriately. Here's this room. Okay. This big room. I think actually there's more. Oh, Jen. To this room underneath here. We haven't really seen all of the bottom of this room. We've seen this. And there's spikes right here. And now we're over here. Wow. This is like all moving around a bunch now. Hang on. And we're going up this way. Okay, good enough. Bum, bum, bum. Please give health. Please give health. This is gonna be above the spikes. But are there more spikes? Time will tell. No. Just ceiling. Okay, so this was like another entrance into this room. Cool. At least they exist in this game. We've seen... I didn't do a good job marking... Because I think we had a refill earlier. We had like a health refill earlier. And I didn't mark it. But I know where it is. I think it's at the top of... this ceiling. I think there's a health refill. I'll just put an H. On our other page. Because this is a multi-page map. Wow, this is really, 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 really tall. Oh no. Oh, thanks, James. Yeah, we're wearing our various suit Samus hoodie today. It's comfy, so it was redeemed with channel points, but I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it on. See, now I think what I did for my map is it should be a little farther over. But again, the scale here, I ended up changing the scale for the map further down. That's why we're having problems with this. Because now we are, like, in this room, but this room goes all the way up. And I don't have room to draw it like that. This made me boot up Samus Returns. So I started a new file. I checked 100%ing the first time, took me about 15 hours. Second time took about 10. Both were slow runs. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dude. Oh, I was saying we should finish Zero Mission on our Discord stream tomorrow, and I think we're gonna continue with Fusion, because I don't think it's gonna take that long. Oh man, more spikes. To finish 100%ing Zero Mission. We'll see. Some of the items in Ridley... Some of the items in general were really, really intense. Okay, this is not the ceiling. This is like... how to even describe. This is a giant room here. And there's another exit up here, and we think there's a Metroid over there. This is looking messy. Love the Metroid husks. I feel like that was one of the things the game did well. Thanks for thanking the mods. Wait, I don't want to go there. Spider Ball is cool. I like this game. It's interesting. Makes you anticipate each encounter. And they're never quite the same. It's always a warning, but it's never quite the same in every room that you see one. Clearly, because I've been startled multiple times by Metroids, even though there's a husk. This is gonna be that long vertical hallway, yeah. Hopefully we'll get some more health from these, because we're doing much better on health now. Let's risk it. Glad it's working out. This game's very different from the others, but does some unique things. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the YouTube follow. I appreciate it. We've got all of our Metroid streams on there. We've got now... Oh, no. Just as I say that as health was getting better. The Witness is starting to go up on YouTube as well. And, if you head over there, if you like the streams, I'd love it if you checked out the YouTube channel too, just for the good vibes and to vouch for the playthroughs. Thanks, Llama. I want to eventually dabble with some shorter videos, but they're mostly going to be, I think, to start, we'll do reaction clips from things on stream, like reacting to seeing the animals at the end of Fusion, and I don't know if I want to put the Witness shorts on there because they're really spoilery for people who have not played it, but I could always mark them as spoilers too. And many of you found me through YouTube as well. This is true. Thank you. YouTube, it does a pretty pointed job. I don't know if it's just because of the Dread release, because Super Metroid is really hyped up, but like a lot of people search me or search Super Metroid or watch Super Metroid really often, and that's how they found me, because they were like, oh, here's someone playing Metroid for you. YouTube gang, yeah. Decided to start this game today instead of Saturday. We were, what do you mean eclectic? We don't stream on Saturdays normally. We only streamed for D&D on Saturday because that was a special occasion. Oh, this goes down too. Okay. Okay. Searching for Fusion streams. Right on. Was thinking your time. Oh, instead of... Yeah. Sorry, that makes sense. Time zones. We can fall here. I'm starting to remember which platforms have which enemies, I think. Forgive me, we're farming health so we can get a better save. Yeah, I'm glad we started today. Normally we would start a new series on a Monday, but we had already had such a long break from Metroid. I was ready for the next game. Farming health, the classic Metroid experience, right? That's how it always is. Honestly, I think it's quicker just to get those two. Did not find you through Metroid or Metroidvania whatsoever. Was looking for small streamers in Mario 64 and caught you when you were playing the Switch port. Yeah, you caught us through the anniversary, the Switch port. We played Mario 64 for 50 stars, right? And then we moved on. I don't think I got to 70 stars. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Good timing. God, that Whoops clip from from the Witness stream the other day, I rewatched it and it kills me every time. These are called Sumuri. The names, the enemy names, I love it. We don't have Funtune for this one, so. From Twitch recommendations, from Kaz, because I was looking for morning streams. Yup. come on. First playthrough is a good one too for the YouTube search. Super happy to find another Metroid streamer. Heck yes. So proud of that one. You should be. I don't know how you got the timing so perfect, Magus. Because I could have started talking or I could have left the room. Like, we stood there for a minute and I was just, you know, doing my thing going, wow. Reacting, making a face. I don't know. Being a Jen. I got here through what I think was an Agatha raid. I can never remember, but it was definitely when you fought the Land Molas in A Link to the Past. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I definitely met Llama somehow through Agatha, whether it was a raid or I used to post to her Discord sometimes. Plus, she's also just another big, Link to the Past fan, so... Satisfying seeing the utility of the spider ball being used, even just like picking up health. Yeah, it's good. I know this is quite the pause from the action, but it's good. It's getting me better and better at going into spider ball and coming back out of it. Also here from an Agatha raid, yeah. Found her because I was looking for someone playing Chrono Trigger, and you were right at the start of the game. We're origin story friends. Hype. Gotta head out. Have a good rest of stream. Someone else will have to pick up my slack on enemy names. Thank you for those, Geodude. I appreciate it. Have a good one. And take care. Waiting for this enemy. Okay, you know, this is getting a little slow. So I'm gonna go get our save because this is a much better spot for health than where we were at before. And now we don't have to worry about emergency save states or anything. We can just do this as it should be. I'm gonna take a quick sip of water. I think now that we know that room exists, should I mark that as kind of a refill? We can. I'll just put an R. This long, narrow hallway. I'll hash this out because I put that just for my memory. There's actually, I don't think, any empty space there between the big room and this hallway. But, let's go. There's so many things I want to look at now. I want to know where this goes. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Is this like a water area? I put little waves here. Really have a knack for getting people invested in your progress in games. We all really want you to succeed. I remember the very first time I tuned in, I was so mad at that Land Mola fight. I love that that's your origin story because I did not think we were gonna get that fight. And I was, from the very beginning, like, no hints, no spoilers. But, I was fighting it in a, like, I think I had tried arrows and was just god-awful with my aim. So I had to fight it with the sword, and we probably only had the butter sword, or not the butter sword, the plastic knife, whatever the nickname for it is. It was rough. Land Mola is the one, it's Tri-Worm. It's the 3 little worms in the sand dungeon. Not one that I struggle with these days, although I haven't played Link to the Past in so long. Not one of my harder bosses. But back then, I hated it. Probably only had the fighter sword, yeah. And Mathula was really tough for me. I was really proud of myself for finishing Link to the Past. I never played it as a kid. I had only watched my family play it, and we did it. We got through it. I wanted to see what was down here. Was there more further down? Potentially. But this goes over to the right. And maybe this opens up further down. I'm not really sure what the rest of that looks like. Desert Palace, yes, eclectic. Fisher Price Sword, yeah. I think you were playing Outer Wilds when I first found the stream. Came in on a raid and then noped out because I hadn't played it yet. Yep. We're glad you came back too, Trav. I think it helps that we do something completely different on the weekends here because... Ow. Oh, Jen. Why can I not? We're just gonna die to that enemy. Because when there's people that are like, oh, I can't watch you because it's so much spoilers, it gets really tough to come back and say hi if I'm always playing the same thing every single stream. Always nope if you haven't played Outer Wilds yet. Very true. This room looks familiar too. Why does everything look so dang familiar? I feel like this room... This all connects here, right? Oh, we fought that Metroid. Maybe. Oh, God. I'm having trouble remembering what we did before I died. Which is normal. We have plenty of health, but... Don't like enemy placement in the overworld. You know, and you end up just running past them all anyway. Is what are you, like a super big one? Oh no, heck no. I asked about it earlier and now we're getting horrifying answers. No. Oh, you're too fast for me to do my fun trick. I don't think I can exit the fight. I think it like restarts the fight. You're nasty. You do so much more damage than the other enemies. I'm not gonna win this. Oh, but it doesn't refill your health. That was gnarly. They don't even drop health after the fight. Oh, scary. Oh, we won with 3 health. We have to make it out of here. I don't know. Thanks for the GGs. You really are the something, llama. I don't know if you all were there. Some of you I know were. Some of you were not. For our D&D adventure. But llama snuck inside jokes into the campaign. Just to make everybody pick up these pieces of paper and read them and be like, oh, I know what this means. It was very cute. If you haven't, and you're interested, I would personally recommend going to watch the VOD, or at least going in and watching some of the clips and highlights from the funny moments that happened. It was a good time. There's no way I'm making it out of here alive. And oh shit. Yeah, this is so rough. Oh my god. It's okay. 8 health. Jump scares, yeah. Which there's husks everywhere, but I still get jump scared. At least we're back in this room. We should be able to survive. If I can get health from these without dying. Is it? You don't even have to double tap to come out of morph. But I keep doing this a lot. You see lots of this dance from Samus. Sadly was not there. Had to work, which made it very sad. I love D&D. It was a good time. There's some good clips and highlights and stuff. Missed a bit of it, yeah. Need some soil for your health farm. Yes. It's my favorite part to write in and plan, because that came to me a couple weeks before we played, when we knew we were going to be 3 players. Made it better because I had one for cast, but it was behind the map. Aww, that's awesome. Put the encountered Metroid types into Zeebs. Thank you. The Samus cheer, yeah. I wanted to go fight that other Metroid first, and then go save. But we ended up coming down here instead. I like that now we have a lot of different directions to go. In the very beginning, which is, I mean, it's a Metroidvania, so of course. But in the very beginning I was like, dang, there's only one open door. What am I supposed to be doing? And now we're back at 33 health. Doing a loop. It opens up quite a bit, which is awesome. I like that. But it means I have to be on my A game for my map creation. And I have not been on my A game. Maybe my B game. Come here. What are these called again? Oh, I don't know. Wait, did we lose? No, we're just slowly building up health. I thought we had more than that for some reason. You like my little map? Thanks. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm happy with it. I'm proud of my brain. What the important thing is, the map is cool, but the important thing is that stuff is sticking. Stuff is sticking in there. Regardless of what the end result looks like on the map, if I beat the game, then we did good. Interesting to compare your map to the actual map. Oh yeah. That'll be fun. Something, okay. We were talking about Hollow Knight earlier. Hear me out. Something I used to want to do for Hollow Knight is try to draw the map from memory. But it's been a while, and I have no reason to go back and do a Hollow Knight stream because we haven't been playing it. But maybe when we get a release date for Silk Song, we go either just completely after having such a long break from it and we try it, or we do like a second playthrough of Hollow Knight to prep for Silk Song. I don't know. I would have a lot of fun doing that. Hollow Knight no map mode, exactly. I tried to test myself with the rando a lot. Like there's you go to, if you play the randomizer for Hollow Knight, you can go to Elderbug at the beginning and get all the maps all at once. And then you have the mod that gives you, it's called like the player item map. It tracks everything. It's beautiful. I would challenge myself and either not talk to Elderbug or not use the tracker, like different little things from time to time to be like, let's see how well I know this. And I enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. But I know that map probably better than any other game map because I played it so much. Phrasing is off. I'd say the usual goal is an accuracy. That's incredibly difficult to do by hand, but drawing a map goes a long way towards aiding in navigation. Yeah. I gotta finish Hollow Knight, but I feel like you don't play it frequently. It's hard to pick up and play. It's like you have to redo the learning curve a little bit. Yeah. I don't know. It's true, depending on how far you are, I don't know what it's like to pick it up midway. Or if you're at a specific point in the game, like a boss fight or something, and you can't progress. But even with Hollow Knight, I feel like you can... I don't know. You can abandon boss fights pretty easily and go someplace else to, like, warm up. Alright, I'm gonna save with this much health. This is fine. That took so long. Thanks for the chats while we did that. We fought one Mega Metroid. We found 2 more nearby. That transition was longer than I expected. I'm gonna head out because I want to get up early-ish tomorrow. Today was super chill. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Llama. Take care. Have a good sleep. I gotta get up early-ish tomorrow too, actually. You'd be way more lost without your map. Recently got back into it and have been bashing my head against the Pantheons. I never did them. I never finished them. Just farming streams are nice sometimes. I did everything but the Pantheons and then just got completely lost in randomizer. It's a good thing about streaming a game as opposed to LPing it. You can have the chat for the grind. I know, I appreciate it. Anybody watching the VOD, or I suppose the YouTube video, this part is a little bit just chatting and chilling and getting health. But I'll put timestamps so you know when the action happens. I honestly think we're kind of gonna close stream pretty soon. What I want to do is go back up through here and see if we can't kind of redo this part that we did earlier. Oh, come on. Spider Ball, please. There we go. It's a good thing about... Oh, I read that one. I'm gonna give Hollow Knight another chance after the stream. A friend wants me to play it since I love Metroid so much. A lot of people find the benches to be very brutal. It's such a pretty game. The music's so good. The characters are so cool looking. I feel like all of that more than makes up for the benches. And the walk to the benches and picking up your soul. I get it. But I hope you like it on giving it another try. Last couple Pantheons are what's preventing me from getting the elusive 112. Yeah. P4 with PV's my wall. Yep. Yep. Okay, we gotta do this fight again. This was the one we cheesed. A little bit. Yeah. Oh, this one because it like hangs out on this ledge here. Come on. Come on. And then... So that fight is where? Here. We still want to go... No, there was no item here. There was like that long thing that we ended up down here. And then there was missile pack, there was a bunch of stuff in here. Do we go back and get it again? Yeah, I think that'll just be how we end stream, as we go back and get it again. I feel like that's such a... We're tying up loose ends. It is what it is. Next stream, I feel like we'll definitely make a lot more progress because I won't be learning and map drawing at the same time. You know. No bloops. We had the bloops earlier, Drusif. Welcome in. We decided to take a break from the bloops. I wanted some music. We are... I think this is this room? Maybe? Oh, we have to go through the turret again. That's why it's so gnarly, right? No, the turret's up here. Never mind. I'm gonna put T for turret, maybe? Maybe I'll just write the word turret so I don't forget. That thing was gnarly. Thanks for the hydrate. Don't mind the chill vibes every now and again. Yeah. The music can be unsettling, exactly. Did we go through... Did something break here? My map says... I think we just went to the right. I don't know. Love the graph paper map, thank you. We're trying. We're a little hazy over here, which is where I am now, but... Oh, this room too was gnarly. Okay, that's here. For sure. But it ended up being okay getting out of here. It was only gnarly because I didn't know how to not have the blocks hurt us at first. And then there's gonna be turrets, wall fires, and pickups in here. Oops, shoot. We're okay on health. We're okay. This stuff we have to pick up again. Understandable to replace the bloops. Believe they're, for better or for worse, meant to be disconcerting. Part of the horror leanings. Oh yeah. It more than makes up for the fact that the intro music was not horror leaning with the beeps and stuff later on. Wants you to feel unsettled, for sure. So, we were talking about, was it Samus Returns? Or Return of Samus? The frequent deaths or something like that? I think it's lore though, so we might wait on any kind of a reveal. There's something about the story that explains why we're gonna die a lot. Surface music is all happy-go-lucky, then the game goes psychological, yeah. It's a fake out. This is another vertical room. This one's not so bad. At least not coming down. Probably going back up is the worst part. Making me want to start Hollow Knight. I'm always trying to convince people to play Hollow Knight. Go here. Okay. I think we can make it out of here. 98 health. Need to get started on Ori 2. I'm glad I finally finished Ori 2. It's a cool game. I was mega biased towards Ori 1, but Ori 2 is beautiful and has so much more stuff in it. And if you like boss fights, there aren't any in Ori 1, so... Ori 2 adds them. Some good Metroidvanias with as crisp of movement as Hollow Knight. I mean, we talk a lot about Axiom Verge. I don't know if I would say it's crisp. It's just a really, really good Metroidvania. Like, if I had to make a list of if you liked Hollow Knight, play these, I would say play Super Metroid and play Axiom Verge. And I don't know what else, because I'm only just getting started. Lures you into a false sense of security, thinking that it'll have a bombastic and tuneful OST like any Nestroid, and then pulls the rug. Yeah. Try to convince people to play Hollow Knight. I guess that would make this place a Hollow Bastion. Adore Ori 1 and 2. The animation is just criminal. They're real good games. I mean, yeah, I would say play Ori if you haven't. The movement's real different, but they give you some cool stuff to do that Hollow Knight doesn't have, that Metroid... Well, Metroid has, like, grapple in some of them. Enjoyed how Axiom Verge introduced more puzzly elements into combat. Yeah. This is gonna take us up here. And then we go up again. This should be the room with the blue stuff. I think this I can safely at least end the room. And then this goes out here, right? No, this is, I can just close off the edge of that room. Because we went up this hallway. There's nothing else in that hallway. Okay. Symphony of the Night. It's on my list. That's a good one. That's a good one. Played Ori demo, but didn't like the trial and error gameplay. Oh, I think we talked about this. Yeah, eclectic. Where you have to do it repeatedly if you die. I don't really have a tolerance for that in games unless something changes with each attempt. Because it's like, you know, you pick your spot, your respawn spot, and then it turns into basically, I don't want to say Celeste, but a platformer, right? You try to get through, and if you die, you come back. And you try to get through, and if you die, you come back. Yeah. Dun dun dun. We're gonna... save? We've got so many Metroids to find. Gonna hit the hay before I go. I want to say the map cam is cool. Thank you, Nobe. I'm glad you like it. It's been good. It's like oh gosh. What's a good example of something? Okay, don't forget. Do this at the beginning of every room. Every room, map cam. It's like a checklist thing I have to add to remember to make a note. We've been backtracking a lot, so there's not been new things for me to draw, but right now we're in the top of... We're here. And this room expands up, and I don't have room to draw it, so that's what I kind of have to fix for next time, is because we're up here, and there's like a whole open bit. There's another Metroid up here we could go try to fight. I kind of want to just save. I want to be safe so that we don't have to redo stuff we did again. Appreciate platformers, just don't enjoy them as I'm not good at them. That's totally fair. Heck yeah. I mean, you like what you like. I run into that all the time here when people are like, oh, are you going to play this game? I'm like, that's not really my thing. You know? It's a great game, but I'm gonna stick to my genres, you stick to yours. It's cool. Oops. No Dark Souls stream. We did play Dark Souls. Dark Souls was a charity redemption, right? And we tried it. We had some laughs, some really good memes happened for the channel. If you do ! Taurus, you can see how I won that fight. What else? Oh god, the boar. That was gruesome. Never again. The win was amazing. Oxo, hi, welcome in. I love platformers too, and Sly got me into platformers and speedrunning at a young age. Nice. Much better at 3D platformers, but that's a different beast. It really is. Yeah, there's the Taurus fight. And I think we went a bit further into the game. I think Taurus was maybe our first stream. And second stream there was like a dragon and then a bunch of parts of whatever castle thing, and we made it to some other save station near the blacksmith, I think, and that's as far as I ever went. I was like, nah, I'm proud of myself for trying it. Tourist, not tourist, yes. Okay, friends, this is good. I feel comfy stopping here and saving. We did a lot of chatting today, but look at all this map progress. This is where we started with our ship. I didn't map this here because I forgot, but then this is like where we began, and we went all the way through here, all the way through here, all the way through this part. We mapped this, and then we came back and went all the way through here. So, I don't know. We got bombs, missiles, and spider ball. That's about it so far. Never seen the clip before. Classic Taurus fight. Thanks, Eclectic, James, Trav, Austin, Number, Tunes, Oxo. It transcribed what else as Wood Elves. Nice, I like it. Unfortunately, we're just about to wrap up, but I'm glad you're using the closed captions. We have them on every stream. Thanks, friends. Defeated non-trivial number of mini Metroids. We did. We, you know, what did we start with? 40? 39? We did all right. Came back after having to leave dinner for an hour ago. Impressive progress. Thank you. Thanks, OJ. Otefu, Magus. Progress made. We did it.